He is the only winning candidate in history to both be underwater after winning in his approval and to have a worse approval rating than his losing opponent. We have never seen that before. So the idea that Trump was this great charismatic figure is absolute nonsense. And again, if you looked at his campaign, it was the worst campaign we've ever seen in the history of the country. His victory had nothing to do with Trump's charisma, nothing to do with his campaign.
You sure about that?
Um, Connie says Trump ran the worst campaign, question mark. He was the first Republican to cross the 67 million vote threshold and the first in decades to win the popular vote. I understand him winning wasn't the outcome you wanted, but it was clearly effective.
Absolutely not. It had nothing to do with his campaign. I don't care who you are, if you're going to be anywhere impartial. It was the worst campaign ever. It was filled with racism, misogyny, xenophobia, indications of tremendous cognitive decline, gibberish, insulting huge swaths of the American people. His victory had nothing to do with him. As I said, we've never seen before in the history of the country 20 to 25% of those who voted for a candidate saying they despised him and think he was a danger to democracy, but they still voted for him anywhere. Anyway, we have never seen in the history of the country a winning candidate being underwater after his win and having lower approval ratings than his defeated opponent. So this win has nothing to do with Donald Trump in particular. So the idea that Trump was this great charismatic figure is absolute nonsense. And again, if you looked at his campaign, it was the worst campaign we've ever seen in the history of the country. His victory had nothing to do with Trump's charisma, nothing to do with his campaign.